Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Blue Ridge Silverhound. And over the next 30 some odd days, okay, I'm going to announce at the beginning of every video, the road to 100,000 subs. As you guys know, I launched a giveaway. If we hit 100,000 subs, I will be giving away a ton of silver and gold. It should be exciting. So let's see how it all goes. But in the spirit of trying to launch this campaign effectively, so that way, you know, it gets the most maximum exposure, I'll be putting it at the beginning of every video for about the first like 30-40 seconds. So anyways, we're gonna get into this package here. Okay, it's a mail day time. I received this over the weekend, but we're gonna go ahead and talk about another package delivered by Mr. Scott Holiday. Okay, that's actually his name on YouTube. So he had questions on a few coins they had sent over for me to look at, and then we're all going to take a look at it together. You know, it'll be a little bit of a great learning experience for everyone. Brother, dude, $16. Yeah, you're way too generous, and you know, thank you again for all the support from not only you, Scott, but from everyone else. Yeah, next Friday I'll have a PO box ready to go, and I'll have it all set up and typed in the description box down below. So if you guys want to send, you know, some sort of hate mail, or you want me to look at something, yeah, you can just go ahead and shoot it on over to me. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's see what we have here. Don't know if I'll need the, I might. Let's see what we have. So knowing Scott, he always sends some pretty neat things. And Scott, let me know if you want this sent back to you, bud. I know the last couple packages, you donated those to the Blue Ridge Silverhound show, and I appreciate it, sir. All right, so there is a letter in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of hide that here for a second. Let me read through it. Okay, all right, so we got some pretty interesting stuff here. Yeah, you'll definitely want this stuff back, and that's interesting. That's interesting. And yes, yeah, because yeah, you sent me a postal money order, so you definitely get that back for you. All right, hello Sean. Here are the coins I said I would send you for a video. Sorry it took so long. Hey, no problem, brother. Get them sent out, but it took a little longer to get them photographed this time. The 2016 dime, okay, which is in here. Looks like it has a die clash. So you sent me 8 coins and then plus 1. And the 55D quarter and a replica 1776 coin are yours for the collection. Oh, okay. Thank you. Actually, I've never had a brand new Roosevelt dime clash, so that's awfully nice of you. And the 55 quarter? Are you sure you want me to have that? The rest I would like back. Absolutely. You got it. The 1983 D shooting star is truly one of a kind. And that is, oh, okay. Shooting star Lincoln Cent. Okay, it's the one at the bottom there, third from the left. Promise you'll never see another one. I promise you'll never see another one of the shooting star. It has impressed everyone in my circle, as well as a select few coin collectors I know. I have had this coin for 20 years. That's probably why it's in such great shape. And only a handful of people have seen it. Now I would like to show the coin world. Absolutely. You picked the right place. So we're definitely gonna have to get the get it all squared away here. Okay, I will be sending a money order for the return postage. When shipping, please insure it for $500. Absolutely, thank you, and I hope you like them. And we'll be sending pictures of a few other errors I have that are unique. Looking forward to the video. Scott, thank you, brother. Yes, let's go ahead and discuss what you had sent over here. Of course, we're gonna have to get in close to all the images, and he actually sent me photocopy images of some of the coins. Okay, there's a 2008 P unique bird cut, which Yeah, that thing is like a perfect size die chip to be a bird. That's awesome. 1936 error, E missing in 5 cents. So that's not on here. That's a Buffalo nickel, but he wanted me to see. Dayton Liberty shows doubling. Okay, so you might have the double die outburst number 1. 1999 unique extra error flames. Okay, so he sent me images of other coins that he did not send, which is cool, but he wanted me to take a look at it. Extra Leaf Wisconsin, pretty neat. Those are always popular. Yeah, this man continues to scour pocket change and coin rolls like you would not believe. And he's come up with some pretty neat and interesting things here. So we're going to be looking up close at the 62D RPM, this 57D rare. I would assume that this is, what, a type B reverse? I guess we'll find out. And here's a 55D RPM. Okay. 2016 Clash, which I could see the Clash on the obverse and reverse of the coin. I could see it with the naked eye. This is an unknown anomaly type thing that we're going to take a look at. It's underneath the mint mark of that 2017 P. Here is a 55S best of RPM. Can't wait to look at that. 83D Shooting Star. Should be pretty neat. Let's see what we got there. And the 68S Misplaced Date. Remnants of the 6 on back of the 9. Okay. And he also sent me this 1776. I guess it looks like a Spanish reel. Now was this? It looks like an electrotype, or actually no, not an electrotype copy. This looks more like a contemporary counterfeit. Replica 1776 coin are yours for your collection. Okay, so that's probably an electrotype, which is a modern reproduction, which is pretty neat and interesting. I've never owned a Spanish reel, let alone a copy, which will be pretty neat. And I'll get that in close so you guys know what it looks like. Just a general observation of the coin. I mean, you could tell that there is something with it based off of the surfaces of these fields right here. I mean, they look very grainy, and typically counterfeiters, what they like to do is they'll reproduce these, and then they'll use a black carbon powder and rub it all over the coin. It's a very specific process to give it the appearance of, you know, an aged patina. Now, the thing about the reels is oftentimes these are going to be relatively clean, which means you're going to see them as, you know, pretty silvery, like you normally would like a silver dollar or something like that. In this case, this has the appearance of a coin that has been dug, okay? And, you know, counterfeiters these days are getting much more creative in the way they fashion these things. So we're going to go ahead and take a close look on that one, but let's go ahead and get these coins under the microscope, and then, yeah, we'll kind of wrap it up from there. Scott, thank you again, sir. Let's go ahead and take a look. All right, starting out, we're going to take a look at the 1962 Denver Roosevelt dime. This one is a reverse RPM, okay? So as you guys know, the mint marks are indeed on the reverse of these coins. All in all, this is a really nice BU example that exhibits some of the, you know, the normal kind of like milky spots that you would typically associate with silver of this date. But let's go ahead and take a look at the reverse, and let's go ahead and check this out. So it's a D over D to the west, and it is, as you can see on this example right here, you have the split notching of the serifs at the bottom of the D. Okay, this is more of a rotated mint mark, and it might be slightly west orientation of the mint mark. But typically when you see the notching at the bottom serifs of the mint mark, it's more of a rotated mint mark. So you're going to have a regular punch, or actually you're going to have kind of like a rotated punch and then a corrected punch of that Denver mint mark on the master die, and that's how you end up with something like this. This is a really nice example, by the way. It looks like it could be just a hair west of the primary mint mark, but that's what that one looks like. Okay, we're going to go in order from based off of what we saw on the coin sheet. So up next we have a 57D. I presume this is the Type B reverse, because 57, it's an incredibly tough one. I found a lot of like 56, 1964 I found a few of, and they're really easy to spot, actually. Let me see. Oh, separate D northwest of the primary D on the stem. Oh, okay, so this is not the Type B because you don't have the fully attached leaf touching the A, so this is a standard Type A. So let's see. Right there. Holy smokes, man. I have never cherry-picked one of these. Okay, so I have to get the lighting just right because the actual secondary D is nestled right in the stem. Of course I'm going to drop it, right? Drop it right on the table here. Let's see if I can get in. Okay, so you guys see the primary D. That's right above the R, okay, and quarter. So right over here, and this is actually in the Cherry Picker's Guide, right here, you see the other Denver mint mark right in there. Okay, it is way misplaced. This is probably one of the neatest RPMs ever to exist in the Washington Quarter Series, and Scott is correct. This is incredibly difficult to find, let alone to find one in BU condition. When you get into circulated grades, these things are virtually non-existent for the mere fact of their placement right there. Okay, so you can kind of see a little bit. There you go. That's probably the perfect spot on this video that you're going to see that misplaced Denver mint mark. It just goes to show you, okay, mint marks don't have to be, or RPMs doesn't necessarily have to be closely associated with the primary mint mark. Okay, they could be anywhere else. Take a look at the 1956 D over D RPM, for example, the 008 catalog number. The repunched mint mark is actually south of the primary mint mark, and it's like a huge distance away from the actual primary mint mark. I know it sounds like a bunch of jibber jabber, but if you look on copper coins or open up your Cherry Picker's Guide, you'll see that. But this bad boy is absolutely amazing, and these things sell for a lot of money. Okay, whether they're graded or not. Graded, you probably get a little bit more money out of them. But this is one that I wish I found, and you know, I live on the West Coast, so you would figure that coins of this nature would be easier to find. Not necessarily. This is an incredibly tough RPM. Congratulations, Scott. That's phenomenal. All right, so we have the 55D Washington Quarter that we're going to look at next. So let me go ahead and refix the lighting here. This one is another RPM, but this is one of the more hoarded dates because of the semi kind of key nature of the mintage. But let's see here. Horizontal D, far northwest, below Eagle's tail feather. Okay. So there's a primary D. As you can see, there's a little bit of rotation in there. You can see the notching in the serifs. Horizontal D, far northwest, below Eagle's tail feather. Okay, so let me go ahead and point this away. Far northwest. Okay, so it'd be in this general area right here. I don't quite see anything. Did he have this attributed? WRPM 002, so it's a Wechsler RPM. I'll tell you what. So if this is a Wechsler, it's probably in Variety Vista. So let me go ahead and check. Let me go ahead and do a quick little check on this here. Sorry about that, guys. But I want to make sure I am attributing this correctly. So there's a primary. It's somewhere here, right by the tail feathers. Sometimes the lighting on this, and depending on how shallow the RPM is, that could be kind of tough. It is RPM number 2, so you know there are a few. There are a few in there, so let's see. Cannot bring image. So this one I will take a closer look on. Let's see if I can see it here. Oh, okay. I do see a little line that's right underneath the leftmost tail feather. And it's just to the left of a leaf that's underneath that tail feather. So I don't know if I'll be able to pick it up with any sort of clarity on this. Okay, but where I saw it, because I used a regular magnifier, where it's going to be is right here, right in this area. You can barely see kind of like a little curved line, but it's actually raised. And I would imagine that that's probably an RPM of some sort, or possibly a die scratch. Kind of hard to say. But that one's pretty neat. Man, that's such a nice coin too. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 2016 Roosevelt Dime Clash. And usually with Clashes, I don't need the direct lighting here. So I do see a little bit of a clash line in there. Oh, there it is. So you could kind of make out the clashing. Of course, you know the way this is set up, clashes are kind of tough to find under close magnification like this. But again, it's just going to be a matter of finding the right camera angle and just flipping this thing around. Okay, you can see a lot better there. So you see right in front of Roosevelt's eye, you can see the little bit of a clash there in front. Okay. It's actually pretty robust in a way. And then right here, you will see a line, the top line of Roosevelt's head that goes all the way around underneath these devices here. And again, the right kind of camera angle, you'll be able to see that clash line on there. And trust me, it's there, because I see it without the lighting for sure. But it's not an incredibly strong clash compared to what some of the other examples I've seen, but it's there. It's there. Yeah, it's kind of a weaker clash. So, all right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this 2017 P Lincoln cent with some sort of anomaly underneath the mint mark. So there's kind of that small little line that comes off of the mint mark. I see some die polish lines for sure. Not there. So you can see it best right here. That is either going to be an off-center clash, Scott, or a die scratch. Oh, there it is. Or a die gouge in this case. So you guys see that line that comes right off the bottom of the mint mark. So under close examination with a handheld magnifier, okay, that is either going to be one of those two things. Either just kind of like a off-center clash, or a die scratch or gouge. Okay, and that's what that is there. Excuse me. Here's a 55S. This is a best of RPM Roosevelt dime, and this one exhibits full torch details. All right, so that's a nice coin. Nice coin. Let's see, we got a little weakness in the strike there. Probably a little bit of grease action. Pretty cool. All right, let's take a look at this RPM here. Oh yeah, you can see it. See a little spike right above the S there. All right, so that's the top curl of the secondary S. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah, you can see it pretty nice. So that top little spike right there indicates that there is a secondary mint mark underneath the primary that's to the north. All right. So that's pretty cool, pretty neat. That's a good looking one right there, and it's a best of. So, all right, shooting star. Let's see what this one entails. All right. So the shooting star is that thing right there. And you know what? It just goes to show you some of the neatest coins don't have to have any mint imperfections, but this one right here is simply just a light carbonized area of the copper coating of the coin, all right, which in this case turned out to look like a star with a trail on the back. And that's probably one of the neatest coins I've seen in a while. Okay, this is not a mint error, but just to find a carbon spot that's shaped like this is see. Look, you actually have a full outline of the star, and then you have that light trail that comes off of it and to the edge of the coin. This, my friend, is a really cool looking coin, and I know what you guys are thinking. It's not a mint error. It doesn't matter. There's no really wrong way to collect coins. This is one example right here that I would be proud to find and keep in my collection just because of the pure look and appearance of such a coin. This is really cool. All right, so we have this 1968S misplaced date. Okay, there's going to be remnants of the 6 on the back of the 9. Okay, and now the trick is... Ooh, I do see something. I do see something. See that tiny little spike there in between the 9 and 6? So there is definitely something there. Ooh, I can see kind of like what appears to be kind of a bottom curl of a 6 or something underneath the 9 and 6 there in between. All right, and again, the camera angle plays all the difference in the world on this thing. Yeah, it looks like there's an excessive amount of die polish lines between the 9 and 6, and the little spike that comes up off of the 9 appears to be a die scratch. I don't know. That's my take, but there is a slight little die scratch. I don't know if you guys can see it, that comes off the top right of the 9. But it's you could see the excessive amount of die polish lines, the build up right here in between the 9 and 6. It's actually a bump in between there. So So you get the lighting just right, but that's what we have there. Although it does look like a 6, but you know what? A well-placed die scratch can give the appearance of like an RPM or sometimes an additional digit. The one thing that I would say with the Lincoln Cent series is, unlike the Indian Head series where you actually have actual misplaced dates, you know, like in the denticles and up into the design devices of Lady Liberty's head, the Lincoln Cent series, you don't really see misplaced dates all that often. So we're going to take a look at this counterfeit 1776 reel. So that way you guys can take a close look at what one looks like of this type. Okay, and again, that porosity of that surface is a dead giveaway. And then with all this extra kind of like white powder here to give the coin an appearance of it actually being a vintage kind of circulated state. Yeah, when the whole entire coin exhibits this kind of like, you know, crude manufactured look, this is by far and away one of the hallmarks of a coin that is a copy. So yeah, you could tell only because of the equal parts of this white powder that's been spread throughout the coin, and there's some caked on areas on there too, which is all organic. It's, you know, this is stuff that was recently applied within the last probably 30 years or so. But right on the edge, I don't know if we'll be able to see it. I identified the area where the electronic nodes actually attached to the coin when they made this. Right there. See that raised area right there? So the way that these electro type copies work is that whoever counterfeits them, okay, will have an actual genuine coin, and what they'll do is they'll make a cast mold of that coin, and then they'll make actually a cast, like I said, of that particular coin, and then they'll fill it with their composition of choice. Usually it's going to be a cheaper, composition that's not going to cost much, if anything at all. Generally, it won't have copper or anything like that. They'll have the appearance of silver. Sometimes they'll even use mercury in their alloy mix, which is kind of strange. I found that out a few years ago. But they'll inject it into this mold, and then at that point there will be a couple of electronic nodes that actually go into the cast that'll help kind of harden the material into what you see here. Now, when it's all said and done, you're actually going to have a huge spike that comes off the side of the coin where the nodes actually attach into that cast. They have to grind it down and file it down, and usually they don't do a very good job at doing that. And then this little lump right here is actually the remnants of that kind of injection area where the nodes go into the cast. So there you go. Okay, kind of a little bit of counterfeit 101 type of, I'm missing a number of details, I know, but in the most simplistic way that I could possibly ever explain it, which is, to you guys, it might be like pulling teeth, but that's how the whole process kind of works. On an electrotype, you'll always have like kind of this bump, and for whatever reason, these counterfeiters don't do a very good job at polishing these down to the actual kind of, edge. But yeah, that's what that lump is right there. So, well, Scott, brother, thank you so much. I'm going to get this out this afternoon. I actually have some other mail I need to shoot out as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get this packaged up for you. I want to thank everyone again for joining in on another edition of Blue Ridge Silverhound. We got some pretty unique items we talked about today. And believe you me, Scott, you do a fantastic job, man. Thank you for the images. Actually, there's some pretty neat stuff you sent me. And I'm going to put it in my files, by golly. So I want to thank everyone again for joining in. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. As always, the best way you can support my channel is to like and subscribe. The more you mash the like button or the subscribe button, the better I feel. And I could give away some gold. It's real simple. So you guys have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you guys soon, and keep hunting.